Hey there, and welcome to English for Everyone, where we teach real-life American English. My name's Lisa.
And my name's Kevin. Today we're going to practice with a lesson called A Scary Night. We're going to practice with a dialogue, we're going to learn grammar, vocabulary, and practice pronunciation. So let's get started. So the name of the lesson is A Scary Night. And what do you see in the picture? Is this a road or an alley?
This is an alley.
That's right, this is an alley. And what do you think? Does it look scary?
Yes, it looks scary.
Why? Why does it look scary?
It looks scary because it's dark and there's no one in the alley.
That's right, it looks scary. Let's practice. What do you see in the picture? Do you see an alley or a street? That's right, it's an alley. And what do you think? Does it look scary? That's right, it looks scary. And why does it look scary? Very good. So let's listen to the dialogue.
You know what happened to me last night?
No, what?
I got home at about 2 a.m. and I had trouble finding a parking spot close to my apartment, so I parked a few blocks away. When I started walking home, I noticed two guys following me.
What did you do?
I crossed the street, hoping that they would stay on their side of the street.
Did they?
No, they crossed the street to follow me.
Oh no, then what happened?
I crossed the street again and started running as fast as I could to my apartment.
Did they get you?
No, thank goodness.
That's a relief. Now let's talk about the vocabulary.
Kevin, what's the difference between scared and scary?
Well, they're both adjectives, but scared describes the person who feels the emotion, and scary describes the person or thing that causes the emotion. For example, I'm scared because the movie is scary. And when we use scared, we use the preposition of. I'm scared of. Example, I'm scared of spiders. Lisa, are you scared of spiders?
Yes, I'm scared of spiders.
And are you scared of dogs too?
No, I'm not scared of dogs.
Very good. What about you? Are you scared of spiders? That's right, I'm scared of spiders. And are you scared of dogs too? That's right, I'm not scared of dogs either.
Kevin, what about the word scary?
Sure, it's an adjective describing a thing or person that makes you feel the emotion, that makes you feel scared. So example, the alley. The alley looks scary. Does the alley look scary?
Yes, the alley looks scary.
What do you think? Do you think the alley looks scary? That's right, the alley looks scary. And what about scary movies? Do you like scary movies?
No, I don't like scary movies.
What about you? Do you like scary movies? Very good.
Kevin, what if I want to use a verb?
If you use a verb after scared of, we have to use a gerund form. We have to use a gerund. For example, I'm scared of driving in the rain. I change drive with ing after of, driving. I'm scared of driving in the rain. What about you? Are you scared of driving in the rain?
Yes, I'm scared of driving in the rain.
And what about you? Are you scared of driving in the rain? Very good. And are you scared of flying?
No, I'm not scared of flying.
What about you? Are you scared of flying? Very good.
Kevin, when someone has trouble, what does it mean?
When someone has trouble, it means it's difficult. It's not the same as have problems. It means when something is difficult, you have trouble. And remember, there's no article we don't have a trouble. You just have trouble.
And what if I want to use a verb?
That's what's special about this phrase. If you want to use a verb, you have to use a gerund after have trouble. For example, I have trouble waking up in the morning. It means it's difficult. And what about you? Do you have trouble waking up in the morning?
No, I don't have trouble waking up in the morning.
And what about you? Do you have trouble waking up in the morning? Very good. Another example. She had trouble finding a parking spot. It was difficult, so we use have trouble. In the past, had. She had trouble finding a parking spot. Let's practice. Did she have trouble finding a parking spot?
Yes, she had trouble finding a parking spot.
Did she have trouble finding a parking spot? That's right, she had trouble finding a parking spot.
Kevin, why do we say as fast as?
We use as fast as when you compare but the situation is equal. Or if I use a negative, it's not equal. For example, I cannot run as fast as a cheetah. Or another example, she ran. She ran as fast as she could to her apartment. And we can use other adjectives. For example, tall. My brother is taller than me, so I can say I'm not as tall as my brother. We're not equal. I'm shorter. He's taller, so I'm not as tall as my brother. What about you? Are you as tall as your sister?
No, I'm not as tall as my sister.
Is she taller than you?
Yes, she's taller than me.
Very good. What about you? Are you as tall as your brother? Very good.
Kevin, what does the word relief mean?
Very good. Relief. The girl runs away from the men and she gets home. They don't attack her. They don't get her. So I can say, that's a relief. And we do this. Whew. That's a relief. She's okay. I was worried before, but now I'm not because she's safe at home. She made it home safe. Is that a relief?
Yeah, that's a relief.
She made it home safe. She wasn't attacked. Is that a relief? That's right. That's a relief. Now let's do some American accent training. We're going to practice linking the sounds and saying the lines. So first I'll say the line, then Lisa will, and then it'll be your turn. Let's get started. The first line, you know what happened to me last night? We hear that T in what is a stop T. You know what happened to me? We see the D in happened linked to the T. Happened to. You know what happened to me last night? We hear the pronunciation of to pronounced t. Together, link the words. Happened to. The D in happened is a stop D when you link the words. Happened to me last night. And the T in last is silent. You don't hear it. Last night. We don't say last night. When you link the words, you don't hear the T. Last night. Again, you know what happened to me last night? And the T in night is a stop T. Put the tongue up and stop the air, but don't release the T. It's more common to hear night with a stop T at the end. Again, you know what happened to me last night?
You know what happened to me last night?
Very good. And Jack says, no, what? The T in what is also a stop T. Stop the air, but don't release the T. What?
No, what?
Very good. And then Sophia says, I got home at about 2 a.m. and I had trouble finding a parking spot close to my apartment. So I parked a few blocks away. So first, I got home at about 2 a.m. We see the T in got is a stop T. Got home. I got home at about. The T in at is a fast D because it's between vowels. Atta. I got home at about. I got home at about 2 a.m. The T in about is a stop T, but it links to the T in to. About 2 a.m. I got home at about 2 a.m.
I got home at about 2 a.m. I got home at about 2 a.m.
Very good. And I had trouble finding a parking spot close to my apartment. I had trouble. The D in had is before the T, so it's a stop D. Had trouble. Linked to the TR sound, we use the ch sound like chicken, plus the R, trouble. Remember, the vowel in trouble is a short sound, like up and cup, trouble. Linking the words, I had trouble. I had trouble finding a parking spot close to my apartment. The T in spot is a stop T. Spot, close. A parking spot close to my apartment. We see the pronunciation of to my apartment. With the word apartment, we have two T's. The first T in the middle is a stop T, apartment. Don't say apartment, apartment. And the T at the end is also a stop T, apartment. You can say apartment or apartment. You can pronounce the T, but usually we don't. A parking spot close to my apartment. A parking spot close to my apartment. Now the whole thing. I had trouble finding a parking spot close to my apartment.
I had trouble finding a parking spot close to my apartment.
Very good. And the last thing? So I parked a few blocks away.
So I parked a few blocks away.
Now let's practice everything. I got home at about 2 a.m. and I had trouble finding a parking spot close to my apartment, so I parked a few blocks away.
I got home at about 2 a.m. and I had trouble finding a parking spot close to my apartment, so I parked a few blocks away.
And Sophia continues, when I started walking home, I noticed two guys following me. So we see the D in started is a stop D. We don't say when I started, we stop the air. When I started walking home, and then we link to the next sound with the walking. When I started walking home, I noticed two guys following me. We see the T sound at the end of notice. Noticed links to the next T sound in two. Link the words. I noticed two guys. I noticed two guys following me. When I started walking home, I noticed two guys following me.
When I started walking home, I noticed two guys following me.
Very good. And then Jack asked the question, what did you do? So the T in what links with the D in did, and you hear a fast D. What did? Link the sounds. What did you do? Now for the D linking to the Y in you, you can make a J sound like in juice and jump. What did you do? Or you can use a stop D. What did you do? Both are good, but usually you'll hear the J sound. Like this. What did you do?
What did you do?
Very good. And then Sophia explains, I crossed the street hoping that they would stay on their side of the street. So with crossed in the past, we have the T sound. It links to the next word, the. Together, crossed the. Cross the street. I crossed the street, hoping that they would stay on their side of the street. We see the T at the end of that, linked to the next sound, that they. Make a stop T with that at the end, and link to the next word, they. That they. Hoping that they would stay on their side of the street. We see the D at the end of would. It's a stop D. Stop the air. Don't release the D. Not would stay, but would stay. Hoping that they would stay on their side of the street. Side of the street. You can say side of the street, or you can eliminate the V sound in of, because it's before a consonant. Side of the street. Side of the street. Hoping that they would stay on their side of the street. Now let's do everything. I crossed the street hoping that they would stay on their side of the street.
I crossed the street, hoping that they would stay on their side of the street.
Very good. And Jack asked the question, did they? Link the sounds. The D at the end of did is a stop D. Link it to the next word. Did they? Did they? Did they?
Did they?
Very good. And Sophia explains, no, they crossed the street to follow me. Crossed, in the past, we use the T sound. They crossed the street, link the sounds. They crossed the street. Make a stop T, link it to the next word. No, they crossed the street, crossed the street. They crossed the street to follow me. To is pronounced t. It's not stressed. Link the words, street to. There's only one T sound when you link the words. The T at the end of street links to the next word. Street to follow me. No, they crossed the street to follow me.
No, they crossed the street to follow me.
Very good. And Jack says, oh no, then what happened? The T at the end of what is a stop T, and it links to the next word. What happened? Oh no, then what happened?
Oh no, then what happened?
Very good. And Sophia continues explaining, I crossed the street again and started running as fast as I could to my apartment. I crossed the street again. We hear the T in crossed linked to the next word. Crossed. It's a stop T. Link it to the next word. I crossed the street. I crossed the street again. The T in street is between vowels, so it changes to a fast D. Street again. I crossed the street again. And started running as fast as I could. And started running as fast as I could to my apartment. And started running as fast as I could to my apartment. As fast as I could to. The The D at the end of could is a stop D, could, to. Linked to the word to, pronounced to, could to. As fast as I could to my apartment. When I link my to apartment, we have the y sound, just a little bit. My apartment. And started running as fast as I could to my apartment. Again, with apartment, you have the T in the middle, is a stop T, apartment. And at the end, you can pronounce the T and say ment, apartment, or make it a stop T too and say apartment. Both are correct. Now, all together. I crossed the street again and started running as fast as I could to my apartment.
I crossed the street again and started running as fast as I could to my apartment.
Very good. And then Jack asked the question, did they get you? Or I can say, did they get you? So we have two pronunciations here. So the D at the end of did is a stop D. Did, not did, but did they. Link the words. Did they get you? Or did they get you? So first pronunciation, we pronounce T as a stop T. Get you. Get you. Not get you, but get you. Or I can link the T and the Y, the T in get and the Y in you, and make the sound ch like chicken and say get you, get you. Did they get you or did they get you? Let's practice with the ch sound. Did they get you?
Did they get you?
Very good. And Sophia says, no, thank goodness.
No, thank goodness.
Very good. And then Jack says, that's a relief.
That's a relief.
Very good. So let's listen to the dialogue.
You know what happened to me last night?
No, what?
I got home at about 2 a.m. and I had trouble finding a parking spot close to my apartment, so I parked a few blocks away. When I started walking home, I noticed two guys following me.
What did you do?
I crossed the street, hoping that they would stay on their side of the street.
Did they?
No, they crossed the street to follow me.
Oh no, then what happened?
I crossed the street again and started running as fast as I could to my apartment.
Did they get you?
No, thank goodness.
That's a relief.
Thank you for watching.
And if you like this video, subscribe to our channel. And if you want to become a member, click the join button.
And if you want to practice more, write your examples in the comments below.
Thanks for watching.